The water is just now arriving from the creek. It's way back there. And I had said that I was going to start the irrigation for 2023. That's what I'm doing. Now that the water has come this far, I can start sending it back to better wet the hillside. Down there by the pond, I see those ditches are filling as well. And then another thing here, I always have to take more time to go from there over to where that water wheel is with the blue buckets. I'm going to lower the arrival point by about 8 inches this year just to make it easier. The big problem is I have to get around that walnut right there, and instead of it's right in the way, so I go below it and then go up. I'm just going to go below it this year, at least at first. Oh, and I should also show you that the meadow, water has arrived from the pond and it's going back and forth across the meadow now. This is a slightly different angle. It's looking out our bedroom window down by the pond. You can see that the terraces are beginning to fill. By tomorrow morning they'll largely be full, or I think. Now let's go over to this other window. Again, it's just a slightly different angle, but you can see again by tomorrow morning there's going to be too much water right there. I'll have to adjust it, but you can see that there's the main supply closest, and there's a level another level down, a third one, and a fourth one filling. I think there might even be some in between, but anyway, tomorrow I'll adjust them. Here by the light of dawn, you can see how the ditches are beginning to fill. I have to sharpen them, but I've got water to work with now. Plus, the little bit of water that's arrived here has softened the ground, and it's much easier to do that sharpening. Let's go over to the other window and see what happened here. Okay, some of those ditches cross themselves. I'm glad to say I don't really have that much water coming, because I like the fact that walking is real easy, because the ground's hard and dusty, really hard and dusty until the water gets there, and it's easier to actually do the shoveling. I'll film this a little later after I've done my morning sharpening. Maybe I'll add to it a little bit of a panorama of what's going on here, which will include the lower meadow. But by the moonlight and the sunlight combined, the ditches show up a little bit more, the water in the ditches. There's after my first tuning up. You can see I've got a lot of water, and I've got a lot of tuning up I can do now, but as the ground gets softer, it gets easier and easier to do. Every place that you see twinkling, that's because water is falling at that spot. And those twinkles need to be gathered into just certain spots constructed for that. They're called drop structures. Irrigation engineers call them that. Down by the pond, you can see that I don't have the water all, how should I say, spread the way I'd like, but it'll take another day. Here below the house, you can see that I also don't have it that darker brown, all of it. If I had it spread perfectly, all of it would be that darker brown, or at least in even bands. And finally, from this perspective, This right below the house has not been irrigated at all, and I'm going to leave it like that for a while. Not permanently, but I'm going to first get this whole pasture right as I can, and then I'll turn my attention to that other patch. Right down there, you can see that I have water available. Let me see. Let me try zooming. Huh. Oh, there it goes. I mean, it takes some water to to moisten that much ground. All right, bye for now.